Right, let's focus our attention now, pretty much up until we bring Stephen Curtis in on the market news. That's in about 10 minutes' time, on what's happening with refuse removal in Johannesburg. The situation with Pikitup is a troubled one, and there are various things that seem to be happening. What's at the root of this? Julia Fish is Executive Director of the organization Joburg Can. Ms. Fish, welcome and thanks for your time. What's at the heart of the problem? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, John, to you and your listeners. The heart of the problem is about four different things.
Okay.
One is a protracted labor dispute. Two is the general liquidity crisis in the city of Joburg, where they don't have enough money to cover a lot of their bills. Three is our landfills are full. 2 out of the 4 are closed. And the fourth issue is the problem of a new contractor and the performance management of the contractors within the Pikitup system.
Now, I understand that, and you quoted in the article I'm referring to by Ferial Haffiji, that there are a number of sites, 6 major depots are actually closed. Randburg, Waterval, Roodepoort, Avalon, Orange Farm and Marlborough. This is 300 or so workers who, I don't know what I should call them, semi-permanent, or I don't know if they're hired on a contract basis, who say that they have actually been promised permanent employment and they want it now. What is the status of that? I mean, are there written agreements in that regard? Because clearly it's very difficult not only for trucks to get in and out, but perhaps for permanent workers to do their work.
From our understanding, those 300 permanent workers went through health checks, they went through interviews, they submitted information on the grounds that they would be made permanent. There's also obviously a push within the city to insource and rely less on contractors. So this is part of the overall strategy of the city to amend what it does when it comes to overtime and benefits and the things that permanent workers enjoy. So that is technically part of what should happen, but whether or not the city at the moment, given it's now just started a new financial year, is in a position to be able to do that is the question.
Well, if they're not in a position, there are many people who believe it's a self-inflicted wound. I would assume that the fact that 2 of 4 city landfills are full is also a reflection of the way the city's been run. A landfill doesn't get full very quickly, and there's plenty of time to A, observe the problem, and B, solve it. I mean, what's holding up action on that?
2 of the 4 main landfills in the city of Joburg have reached capacity. They were told in 2023 that by the end of June 2026, these landfill sites would reach capacity. They then came up with 2 alternatives, obviously the recycling program or the sort at source initiative to try and reduce the amount of stuff that's going into the landfills. And the other was this waste to energy program,
right,
which would burn waste and actually produce low cost electricity or less cost for bulk electricity than we're paying to Eskom, for example. This was funded by the DBSA and a Dutch funding company under their government structure. They haven't appointed a contractor. So instead of actually intervening at the time with the money they were given, we're now at this position where we're now having to go to other municipalities like Rand West, Mfuleni, Tshwane, to beg them to take our rubbish. And we're also spending about 150 million rand a year on additional private sites within the city of Joburg,
right,
because we don't have our own dump sites. And this was a problem they saw coming, didn't act fast enough, and are in the position they're in now.
And there was money to solve it. Thank you, Julia Fish, Executive Director of Joburg Can. Well, let's get another perspective on not just the Pikitup problems, but perhaps on the general issues facing the city. And welcome to 702 Drive. Thobani Nkosi is Regional Secretary of the South African Municipal Workers Union in Joburg. Mr. Nkosi, welcome and thanks so much for giving us your time today. First of all, on the and you'll give me the correct term, the workers who are insisting that they were promised permanent contracts and are now disrupting the work, we understand it, at 6 sites. I don't know if those workers have come to SAMWU and asked for your help in solving it, but what's your take on why this has become such a serious problem? Good afternoon to you.
to you and your listeners. Indeed, those casual workers approached SAMWU, and after they've approached us, I believe it's in 2024, wherein the city of Johannesburg ran an advert. Out of that advert, they were shortlisted. After being shortlisted, they were interviewed. They went for medicals. They went for vetting as the new requirement in the city of Johannesburg that you should not employ people with criminal records. So with that being done, they hoped that very soon they'll be receiving the appointment letters. However, that process ran over a period wherein in the city, in terms of your recruitment policy, you should run your recruitment policy for a period of 4 months. You interview and appoint. You can only get additional 2 months for you to conclude the process. However, it lapsed. It went to over 8 months. After it has lapsed, the very same employees approached Pikitup. As they approached Pikitup then advertised again. They then applied again. So now the issue of promising each other to employ each other just like that, it's something that, and it's one notion that we need to discourage, because there should be a process in place. So that process, okay?
No, please finish.
That process is that Pikitup must advertise, everybody must apply, and then once you meet the requirements, you are shortlisted, you go through an interview process. So unfortunately, as Pikitup was in that process, because we had to intervene as SAMWU, the city of Johannesburg, through the city manager, Dr. Floyd Brink, they issued a moratorium saying no entity, no department should run adverts, should appoint, because the city has no funds. That's what created this problem, is that moratorium, because Pikitup was actually ready and proceeding with the shortlisting process.
Yeah, and what you said right at the end there, Mr. Nkosi, the city has no funds, is the dark cloud over virtually everything. I mean, does SAMWU accept that the city of Joburg is in a dire financial crisis? I know that you have your own dispute, and this goes back. It's a legacy issue that my understanding has its roots in the mid-1990s. But when you look at the numbers, and I'm sure the numbers have been put before you and they've been carefully scrutinized by you and your colleagues, is SAMWU in agreement that the city is actually in a dire financial situation? That doesn't, of course, oblige you to accept anything by way of settlement. But what's your take on the numbers?
Well, from where we are absolutely disagreeing with the city of Johannesburg. One, there are certain issues that are self-created.
Yes.
We are saying, city of Johannesburg, you can't be duplicating responsibilities in the city. You go to city power, you've got technicians that are redundant, but you appoint contractors to do their work. So therefore, these are issues that are self-created. Once they are able to manage that, the city will be able to save funds. So currently, from where we are, there's serious wasteful expenditure from the city's side, including its own entities. So with what has happened and what has been presented to us by the city of Johannesburg, it has been verbal. We've never seen any document or any bank account of the city. We are always told that the city doesn't have money. Nobody wants to produce anything that proves to us that indeed in the city of Johannesburg there is no money. So for now, we can't agree with the city that there is no money. All they need to do is to just correct where they're doing wrong.
I'm really surprised, though, to hear from you, Mr. Nkosi, that you're getting verbal details about all of these things. I mean, I would have thought if you're in a negotiation, and you are legally entitled to full disclosure of all financial materials that are relevant to the dispute that you're trying to resolve. I mean, surely you have a legal right to insist on that as SAMWU, and if you do, I'm surprised that you haven't.
No, we've done it. We've requested that. That has been promised to us. To this date, nothing has been forthcoming. This is not the first time they say to us they do not have money. Remember, what needs to be paid to address the legacy issue,
yes,
it's 10.3 billion. All they did was to say, can we pay 1.2 in March? We will pay 5 to 6 billion in July. And they came back and said, but there's no money. We said, but where's the proof to show that there's no money?
Yes.
Nothing has been forthcoming.
Thanks so much. Thobani Nkosi is with the South African Municipal Workers Union. He's regional secretary for Johannesburg. Your experiences of this rubbish not being collected, are you hiring private contractors to remove it? I'm hearing a figure of 69 Rand per bin. If you've got something to add to that story or any other relevant details, because this literally is a street level issue. As those of you who are suffering with uncollected rubbish will attest, it's the street right where you live, and the bins are right outside your house, and not just yours, I would imagine.